Princess Diana's story was never supposed to end the way it did. Officially, it was a tragic accident in a Paris tunnel. But nearly 3 decades later, millions of people still believe there's far more to it. From whispered warnings she allegedly gave before her death to rumors that powerful forces wanted her silenced, Diana remains one of the most discussed figures in modern history. And what keeps these theories alive isn't just grief, it's the unanswered questions that refuse to go away. Let's start with the rumor that overshadows all the others. For years, people have questioned whether Diana's death was truly an accident. The public was told the crash happened because the driver was intoxicated and paparazzi were chasing the car at high speed. But skeptics quickly pointed out details that didn't sit right. Key CCTV cameras along the route were reportedly not working. Witness accounts conflicted on how fast the car was actually going. And the tunnel itself had been monitored far more heavily than most people realized. Rumors suggest that the paparazzi narrative may have been an easy explanation, one that shifted blame away from anyone more powerful. Multiple investigations concluded there was no foul play, yet for many the gaps in the story remain difficult to ignore. And that leads directly to the next theory, one that made the situation even more explosive. Almost immediately after Diana's death, rumors began circulating that she was pregnant. Reports claimed that a police officer who accessed confidential medical information believed there was evidence of a pregnancy that never became public. Mohammed al-Fayed, the father of Dodi Fayed, strongly pushed this idea, insisting it was the true motive behind what happened. According to him, Diana carrying Dodi's child would have caused an international scandal the royal family could never control. Official autopsy findings firmly denied this claim, stating she was not pregnant. Still, the rumor persisted, largely because of how quickly it spread and how emotionally charged it was. And for some, this theory felt even more chilling when paired with something Diana allegedly said years earlier. One of the most unsettling rumors surrounding Diana is that she believed her life was in danger long before the crash. This idea centers on what's known as the Mishcon Note, a record of a conversation between Diana and her lawyer. In it, she reportedly expressed fears that someone was planning an accident involving her car, specifically mentioning brake failure and a serious head injury. Even more disturbing, a handwritten letter from 1996 later surfaced in which Diana allegedly wrote that her ex-husband was planning an accident to clear the way for remarriage. Supporters of this theory argue that her words were too specific to dismiss. Critics say they reflect emotional distress during a painful divorce rather than evidence of a real plot. Either way, the idea that Diana feared for her life has become impossible to separate from the way her story ended, and she wasn't alone during those turbulent years. Among the most talked about figures from Diana's inner circle is her former bodyguard, Barry Manicky. Assigned to her security detail in the mid-1980s, he quickly became a steady presence during a time when her marriage was unraveling. In later recordings, Diana said she felt genuinely happy when he was around, a statement that fueled rumors of a romantic relationship. According to reports, royal officials viewed the situation as inappropriate and quietly reassigned Manicky to another post. Supporters of the rumor believe this transfer was meant to end the relationship and protect the institution. Others argue it was a standard security decision that became sensationalized over time. Still, the sudden removal of someone Diana trusted deeply added to the sense that her personal life was being tightly controlled. And that wasn't the only aspect of her future people speculated about. After her divorce, Diana appeared more confident and independent than ever. This led to persistent rumors that she had secret plans to remarry and fully step away from royal life. Some claimed she had accepted a private engagement ring. Others said she was planning a future abroad, free from royal constraints. These stories were never confirmed, but they gained traction because of how openly Diana spoke about reclaiming her own identity. To her supporters, she was on the verge of a new chapter, one that may have unsettled those who preferred her quiet and compliant. And that brings up another group, often blamed, in the aftermath of her death. The paparazzi were widely condemned as the villains of Diana's story. Their relentless pursuit undeniably played a role in her stressful public life. But some rumors suggest they were also used as convenient scapegoats. Questions were raised about how quickly photographers were questioned and cleared, and why certain timelines didn't fully align. It's been said that public outrage toward the press made it easier to avoid deeper scrutiny elsewhere. Whether fair or not, the media became the face of the tragedy, while more uncomfortable questions faded into the background. And those questions often circle back to one uncomfortable topic. Who, if anyone, stood to benefit from Diana no longer being around? This is where speculation becomes most controversial. Some believe her immense popularity made her unpredictable and difficult to control. She had a global platform, emotional influence over the public, and a willingness to speak openly. Reports claim tensions between Diana and royal officials never truly ended after the divorce. To be clear, benefiting from a situation does not prove responsibility. Still, the idea that Diana's presence disrupted long-standing power dynamics continues to fuel debate. And even now, the mystery refuses to fade. The reason these rumors still swirl today isn't because of one single piece of evidence. It's because Diana represented something rare authenticity in an institution built on restraint. When someone like that dies suddenly, people naturally search for meaning beyond coincidence. Add sealed records, conflicting accounts, and decades of speculation, and the story becomes almost impossible to close. In the end, none of these rumors have been proven. Official findings remain unchanged. But Diana was never just a headline or a statistic. She was a symbol, and symbols don't disappear quietly. As long as questions remain, so will the theories. And perhaps that's why, all these years later, the world is still asking the same question: what really happened to Princess Diana?